Welcome to the course on Mathematics for Machine Learning. My name is Amit Meghnani. So this course will be useful for those who are new to the field or for those who already use machine learning algorithms with some existing libraries, but they do not have the idea of the algorithm and the mathematics behind it. So this course will be helpful for those. So basically this course has two parts, and this course will follow the book Mathematics for Machine Learning. The link is given here. So the part one is one has mathematical foundations, and part two is has central machine learning problems. So in part one we have introduction and motivation. For most people, they don't pay attention to introduction and motivation part, but I personally believe it is quite important whenever we are starting a new course. And after that, we will be learning maths like linear algebra, analytical geometry, matrix decomposition, vector calculus, probability distributions, and continuous optimization. And after finishing this part one, we will jump into part two, and in part 2 we have 5 chapters, and which are models based data, linear regression, dimension reduction with principal component analysis, density estimator with Gaussian mixture models, and classification with support vector machines. So this will be the overall goal of the lecture series, where part 1 is maths and second part is the machine learning algorithm, which will utilize the things that we have learned in the part 1. So let's jump into the introduction and motivation part. So already machine has seen many success in almost like past 10 years, and people in the industry or who are student, they are using the existing libraries and algorithms. But if somebody wants to debug or do some changes on it, you need to understand the math behind it, and also you need to know the assumptions and drawbacks of your algorithms so that you are not committing any blunders. For this purpose, it is very important for us to know the mathematics behind the machine learning. So how do you decide this course is for you? So I will make your job easy. I will ask you a question. If you can answer this question, and then you can skip this course. If not, then definitely you are supposed to do this course actually. So let me ask you the questions, and I believe since you are watching this lecture, you might have heard k-means at some point of time in your life. So the here comes the questions. So do you think k-means has any underlying assumptions? If yes, then what are they? If no, then definitely you need to do this course. So you can pause the video here for a few seconds, and of course do not Google it, and you can come back and check the answer, and we'll proceed further. So yes, k-means has underlying assumptions. So if these assumptions are not met, then k-means will fail. So what are the assumption? K-means assume the variance of the distribution of each attribute is spherical. All variables have the same variance. The prior probability for all clusters are same, that is each cluster has roughly equal number of observations. If any one of these three assumptions is violated, then k-means will fail. So we will show you one example where k-means will fail, and the example follows this violation of this condition where the clusters are non-spherical. So you can see here I have generated data using scikit-learn library. So these are the clusters, and the broken assumption, the clusters are non-spherical, and let us see how k-means performs. So this is the output of the clusters of the k that we got from k-means. So you can easily see that the k-means has divided these two clusters, that's inner circle and outer circle, into these two clusters, that is left hand side, that is yellow one, and another one is the right side, which is intuitively wrong. So you know right now that if you don't know the assumption of k-means, it fails. And you might argue that the goal of k-means is to reduce the sum of squared errors. It will reduce sum of squared errors, but ultimately it won't be able to create the clusters. So let me give you an analogy. Suppose somebody comes and tells you, if you do pedaling in your bicycle, you have a bicycle, if you do pedaling on it, the bicycle will move in forward direction. That is true. But what if the chain of the pedal is not connected to the back tire of your cycle? So in that case, if you do pedaling, your cycle is not going to move. But the statement that earlier somebody told you, that if you pedal then the cycle should move. But it is not the case. Why? Because in the first statement, when somebody said to you that you have to pedal then the cycle move ahead, there was underlying assumption that there is a chain of the bicycle which is connected from pedal to the back tire, and that's why your cycle was moving. If that assumption is not met, then essentially your work is you the moment you pedal, it is not going to work. So similar analogy can be think of in machine learning algorithm, specifically in the this one K-means algorithm. Okay, let's get back to the lecture. And yes, now you can decide whether to do this course or not. And let's go to the last part. So as I already mentioned, part 1 has mathematical foundations, and part 2 has a set of fundamental machine learning problems, and these problems are actually the pillars of machine learning. What are the problems? These are the regression, dimensionality reduction, density estimation, and classification. So this part we will discuss in part 2, and this part, which is the basic, which is the background of for all those pillars, is the mathematics, which will be we will discuss in part 1. Hence, yeah, so that's the end of the lecture, and I'll meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.